Well, September 6th, Friday, 2019, she's doing pretty good. I think she actually doesn't feel any pain now. She's got a swelling in her tongue, but I don't think it's painful, which is telling me that's going to go away, maybe. Time will tell. I think she feels pretty good. I know that raised fur you see on the back is because both sides were bald, except for the spine. And that all grew back in. Basically she had some bare skin practically with hardly any fur and sores on both sides of her last, I don't know, guess from from here to here, this whole spot was all gone. Basically. It's half grown in. Huh? She thinks I was going to pick her up or something. She talks to me. So, she seems fairly healthy and happy. I hope by next week or so, she's going to start eating on her own a little more. But don't take me too long to hand feed her. So that's a good thing. I was out here doing a Suzuki 4x4 and tighten up the wheel bearings on one side. Still had that shimmy. Does it on sometimes around between 40 and 50 miles an hour roughly. And then sometimes you get through it and doesn't do it. And bad shake once it gets going. And I threw extra bead balancing tires in there, but I have Douglas tires on the front, so I swapped the Firestones from the back to the front just now. See how that works out. I don't know what the hell it is otherwise. It's just weird. If it ain't the tires, it's something else. But I don't know what. The front end's tight. See? Right, girly? I got a feeling, you know what I think is actually might be helping her the most is a Laetrile. I don't actually have the exact apricot pits in yet, but I ground up the green sprouting organic lentil seeds, which are supposedly a good source of Laetrile also. That might be having a big effect. Wow. What? She's like a little kid, man. I swear to God, this one is half human. I think she's a human in a cat body. So, wow, what? She doesn't want me to bug her. That's what's going on there. So anyway, I'll back off here for a while. Just sit here and watch her for a little while before I go to the gym. This way she gets out here for about a half an hour. Enjoys herself. See her little tail going. Meow, 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 meow. And I was taking, this is another thing, I got the Dr. Willard's water mix. I don't put it in straight, it's like you mix it in it's a concentrate, you mix it in regular water. And I got the one that's dark. The dark one has the trace minerals in it too, but it's the same exact concentrate. I've been squirting it in her mouth from the side, so like it washes out whatever saliva is in there and gets on the tongue. That's very, very alkalizing without having any kind of alkalizing sting. It's like the pH is way the hell up there. Now with cancer, they tell you the pH will kill cancer. But the outside shell of cancer actually is alkaline. The inside of it is acidic. So, that's one reason I'm thinking the hydrogen might work pretty well too, because if it could pass through the outside cell wall membrane of the cancer, that's going to screw it up. See, our cells are negatively charged, or they have a slight alkalinity. The cancer cells are slightly acidic, but the outside shell of the cancer cell, from what I read, is slightly alkaline. That's what protects it from the immune system. It's like the immune system's got the same charge, so it repels the immune system. That's one factor. There's a lot of different factors, actually. There's other things like the cancer cells release Nagalese, which turns off the immune system and also stops the production of GC-MAF, which is the vitamin D macrophage activating factor. So, but I'm beginning to wonder, I think the hydrogen is going to really do a lot too. But the Willard water is a catalyst, And possibly it can make that alkalinity pass through the cancer cells, because the Willard water is almost on par with or maybe it is on par with the hydrogen water. If you take that with the right nutrition, she's been getting the Willard water in her food with now the Cancer Gold support from Pet, whatever that was, Pet Wellbeing or Pet Health, whatever the heck that was, the special herbal concoction. She's getting the Willard water with that, with the colostrum and the kelp and the cat vitamins and the people vitamins and the Laetrile from the seeds, the carbon C60, and I put a little salmon water in there for taste and a little more wateriness so she can get it down pretty quick. So she got 100 calories so far today. She'll get another 100 later, maybe more. I want to put her over 200, a little over 200 calories every day. She sleeps a lot. Her normal calorie intake should be 200, but considering she's not very active, 200 should actually be. She's a little more than 200. That should be more than adequate. But I like to get her maybe 250, 300. I had her about a few hundred calories for 2 days when I first started to get her to eat. I got her to eat 300 calories. I start getting a significant amount of food down her. That was about a week ago or so. Here's Feather, the other girl cat. Mama, these two get along. She gets along with Mama Feather and the son Onyx. That looks like Mama. She gets along with them the best. But right now she seems to be getting along with all the cats, and all the cats seem to be getting along with her because she's sick. They know. So she's not a very active cat. I mean, she's always been like this. You put her when she used to be outside more. She would just. There's Onyx going by the boat right down there. See him? Wagging his tail. She'd always kind of plop in one place. She never wandered. Hardly at all. She was always like this. So it's not that she's feeling sick, it's that's why she's not very active. This is her personality. She's been like this for the whole time I've known her. Almost 2 years now. Well, it'll be 2 years October 4th, 2019. She came over October 4th, 2017. So it'll be 2 years. I don't think she's in any danger of dying now or anything like that. I think the cancer is going in the opposite direction. As long as I don't let up on what I'm doing, I think it's going to keep going in the opposite direction. And when she gets, if she gets 100% well, I'm going to have to keep up with this stuff forever. I'm going to have to give her the herbs. I'm going to definitely give her. I'm going to give all my cats the Laetrile. I got a 5-gallon pail of that. The seeds I could put in the coffee grinder. The green sprouting lentil seeds, which are a good source of Laetrile. Not as powerful as apricot kernels, but still. And she's getting the apricot kernels when they come in here, and the hydrogen water, and the HHO water, and the HHO gas through 2 filters under her chin, not to breathe it. I think I don't want to get any kind of pie in the sky la 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 stuff, because it's people that you got to strive to do something. You just can't sit back and say I hope and I dream and great. I mean, it's what I mean. If you don't freaking bust your balls to freaking do something, it ain't gonna happen. So there's the Onyx. I don't know where the hell he's going. Gotta change that flag out too. She got a little rip in there. They get changed out tonight. I'm gonna sew that one up and I'll bring it up to Georgia. I'm gonna go up to Georgia for the Reconstruction lecture about how bad the South had it during Reconstruction. It basically was a rip-off of an invasion by the barbarians, man. They were just the whole 9 yards. Murder, pillage, rape, loot, and everything else, right? That's what they did for years. Of course, bullies who, right? The South gets bullied and they get freaking accused of everything. But that's the communist way, man. We're living under communism today. But anyway, kitty cat. take care of you best I can. I think she's gonna be all right. I don't, you know, I was really, really back on August 15th, and also August 18th, that Sunday. I thought, boy, she's gonna be dead or something. I was like, she finally got her drink water. Why? You ain't going out there. What the hell do you think this is? I ain't letting her wander. She's staying in here. This is 16 by 40. Oh yeah, I put the things back up here again. You see them? I did do that. Busy beaver here. They break after a while because the sun breaks the plastic zip ties, whatever they call those things. She's seeing her go down there. She wants to do that. What are you doing? I want to do that. See her tail? She's definitely not. I got a feeling that tongue that's swollen is nowhere near as painful as it was. It's just that it's getting in the way of her eating. Possibly that cancer is gone. Who the hell knows? Maybe it's just a matter of the body needing to repair. We shall find out. If that's the case, I think what all I'm doing now, especially when I get the hydrogen water too, and I got the gold cancer support from the holistic veterinarian, and plus everything else, it's a whole combination. It's a combination. Everything adds up. Live on Labs vitamin C on the tongue. He's ingesting that. Carbon C60 and olive oil. All this stuff put together is having effect. I'm hoping within 2 weeks she's eating on her own. Be great if that's the case. Hi. See her tail? She's okay. She's pretty good to go. I don't think she's in, like, you know, if just pain going on. I mean, yeah, cats hide their pain, but I don't know. I think if she's got pain, most of it's gone. She does seem a lot better in her attitude and stuff. So, I'm keeping her by this spooky plasma Rife machine because I think, even though this is, obviously, it can't be as good as the original somehow. You know, even though the frequencies are the same. And maybe it's because I'm not using a Fanatron bulb. I don't know. But, you know, I don't think there's that much difference between a plasma and a Fanatron. But I think it is having an effect. I think it is having some kind of effect. So every little bit helps. Right, Snooky? Sure isn't doing any harm. See? She can't be that bad off. I mean, right now I don't feel like she's going to die or anything like that, or you know, she's not going to starve. She doesn't seem to be in pain or nothing. You know, she just seems to be okay. I got a hand feed her because her tongue is swollen. There seems to be less saliva coming out of it, and I'm going to try to run a biofeedback scan with the Spooky and see what the hell goes on. I just took another saliva sample, and that's probably the easiest thing to do because she does have extra saliva because of that tumor thing. But I'm not quite sure if, you know, wish I knew for 100% what the hell's going on exactly. But no matter what, I think the solution is still the same thing. The frequency solution might be a little bit different though. I'm going to try to see if I can run that biofeedback scan and see what comes back. Drinking water by the sink. I used up almost a whole bottle of Dr. Willard water. I was spraying on her mouth on her sides, and it was like running out and cleaning everything out like she's doing here too. She's doing that for about, God, probably 25 minutes. Yeah, that's a really good idea because this Doc Willard water. I put this in a small bottle. I got a gallon back there. This stuff here, and it's healing water. So I also mix it with the food too, kind of water it down a little bit to give it more. The thing is, it's supposed to help any nutrient really absorb a lot better. Yeah, I was wondering if she was getting enough water. Sometimes she doesn't. I don't know what it is. Sometimes she won't drink the water, and then she gets real thirsty or some crap. And she doesn't drink water like this all the time. Yesterday, I just squirted some water in her mouth, and that was it. Now she's real thirsty all of a sudden again. You know, it's every other day. I'm not sure how much of it she's drinking. It's like washing her mouth out. See her tail. So she's getting better at this too. I like her doing this because whatever's on her tongue, you know, it's washing it away. Now I got the Dr. Willard water on here too. I live on Labs Vitamin C. I think sometimes she forgets to drink water or some crap, and then she's drinking a lot right now, so. She does seem like she's getting better. I just like to know what the hell's going on with her tongue. I'm not going to open her mouth and take a look. It's kind of pointless. As long as once she gets eating on her own, then I'm going to say, yay, 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 yay. But that means I better not stop doing what I'm doing. So I was out there today tightening the wheel bearings on my Suzuki, and it still had a crazy vibration, my 4x4. It was a tire, a Douglas tire from Walmart. So put it on the rear, and it seems like it disappeared. So I'll probably swap out the spare tomorrow. Freaking problem cropped up out of nowhere. So whatever. Anyway, I do things by myself, man. So she's really drinking a lot. And she doesn't do this every day, though. I mean, she doesn't do this like this every day. She just, I don't know, maybe she just forgets to drink water, and all of a sudden she's freaking thirsty as crap. What I'm thinking is, when I squirted the water bottle in her mouth for a while, it got her tongue all limbered up. That's good. There you go. Yay. Hey, Snoopy girl. So, you got here is Doc Willard water. What I was doing is hey, I got a great idea again. I think I just mentioned this before because I'm kind of piecing together this video. She was actually all curled up here with her nose in here just a few minutes ago, sleeping next to this thing. What I do is I put it next to her, but she stays next to it, so whatever. I actually put this water in her mouth this morning along with the drops. I think it was like Life Gold or something, or Girl Gold Cancer Support drops. And she's got the Green Foods Herbal Support in her food already mixed up with the sprouting seeds, the Carbon C60, the Doc Willard waters, the cat vitamins, and some salmon juice, and I don't know what else I put in there, but kitten food. And she'll get some Live On Labs vitamin C right before she eats. But what I got the idea was to spray this in the corner of her mouth this way, and it runs out. She'll sit there. She's not necessarily drinking it, but she'll sit there and it's running out of her mouth, the water, and it's cleaning out all that stuff that's on her tongue. Now this water looks dark. It's actually Willard water is not. This is the dark version. The dark version is just, it's the same Willard water, except it has trace minerals in it. Things that are natural from the earth that are essential for you. Willard water is absolutely clear and tasteless, and this is tasteless too, but it's very alkalizing. It's very alkalizing without having any kind of effect where you could feel it's alkalizing. That's what's weird about it. I do know that the Willard water works extremely well on sores, cuts, burns, and all that type of stuff. There's a lot of things it seems to work on, and nobody can really explain why. It just may be that the water is actually getting in where it needs. It's catalyzed water. It's activated, catalyzed water. They've even shown that the crystalline structure of water is different in cancer cells than it is in normal cells. So I'm thinking by spraying this in her mouth right where that tumor is, first off, it's washing out any of the toxins and poisons and stuff that's in the saliva. You know the body's reaction to the tumor, her drooling and stuff. Are you drooling? I don't know, you know, if she is, it's not much. Like, there's a slight amount of wet right there, but she used to be drooling. Seems like she's drooling a lot less. And but I'm going to continue on with that. That was something else I thought of. You know, it's almost like you got to have a little bit of a mechanical common sense besides doctor common sense. I'm not a doctor, but it's like, you know, if there's an infection in your mouth, if you keep washing it out, isn't that going to help? This is not an antiseptic. It's not going to burn. It's not going to have any taste. It's just like water. Like I said, the only reason there's a dark color is because this is the version of Doc Willard's water that is has the trace minerals. But you know, the thing is that it's actually highly alkalizing without having any kind of, I don't know, like something this alkalizing, you would be able to tell it's alkalizing if it was a food. But somehow this water, even though it's more alkalizing, you can't tell. And the thing is with cancer, the inside of the cancer where it really is, that's the real acidic part. The outside of the cancer is alkalizing. If you could break that you could break that shell. I think that's how that works exactly. So that's why cancer is so tough to get rid of. You know, I say just add baking soda. It really has to get into the heart of the cancer to destroy it. But maybe this water is doing that. What I'm hoping is also when I get the hydrogen, I'm going to make the hydrogen water. And as soon as I make it, I'll put it in this bottle and we'll spray her in the mouth with that. That hydrogen should definitely get inside the cancer cells and knock them out bad, you know. And we're going to do the HHO through the two bubblers. I think you're going to be 100% fine, man. Yeah. Your mouth is not, you're still like, but you know what? You seem like you're a little bit better, boo-boo. We're going to get you fed here in a minute, okay? Meow, meow, meow. We're going to give you some CBD oil. I already gave her some of the drops. They said a Life Gold. We got her food all mixed up. It's all, I make a concoction. I take the 3-ounce can of kitten food, which has about the same calories as an adult food, 5 ounces. Then I put the 3 ounces of kitten food in an empty 5-ounce can. Then when I add all this stuff to it, it almost comes out to like 5 ounces. And the 95 calories that's in the kitten food, there's probably another good 30 calories I'm adding to it. So 2 cans of kitten food with all the other stuff I'm adding to is at least 120 calories. I'd say she's getting 90% of that, so she's getting about 105 calories twice a day. Yeah, so she's definitely getting to 200. She lays around a lot, so you should be okay. I want to get you back on where you were though. And see, this is the bald. See all this? This was her bald spot. Yeah, coming in pretty good, Snoopy. Yeah, it's coming in pretty good. I got a feeling you're gonna be eating pretty soon. I hope so. Because once you're eating on your own, I can make this stuff and give it to you, and you can eat it up and eat all you want. But man, I think when we get this hydrogen water, that's going to be the real turning point. But I'm glad I got, you see, when I'm putting this in with the food and that special herbal support, cancer herbal support, that cancer herbal support is going to actually get in her system a lot better with the activated water. Everything that's in there, the cat vitamins, the carbon C60, the whole 9 yards. And the reason I'm really hot on with this hydrogen water, you see, when I learn one thing, or I study one thing, it dovetails into something else. Because they'll make the claim that the hydrogen water is so beneficial and all that stuff. Well, the thing is, I learned that, in carbon C60, they're not 100% sure why it's so good. It's partly because it's detoxifying, which is important with the cancer support, because it adsorbs toxins, locks the toxins in, and the body excretes them. The other thing is, though, the carbon C60 can also act as a hydrogen delivery system. And, hydrogen, that's what they're saying. Some people are taking more foods that have more hydrogen in them, like apples and things, along with the carbon C60. But then it makes sense. If I'm adding hydrogen water, we're using HHO, purified, to treat her, plus the carbon C60, it's going to make all those things even stronger. Like, in other words, one thing by itself might be strong, another thing by itself might be strong, but working together, they might be stronger, way stronger than each one of them individually. It might be a force multiplier, a synergistic effect. So, you might be okay. And see, this is why, that's why it's never one thing. I don't even know. I think eventually I might get the Fantron bulb for this thing. And I might pick up a spare regular generator eventually. I'm not sure, you know, I trust what John White says and stuff, but this thing to me is not working quick enough. And I think the real reason, see, when they put the Spooky 2 together, they're using the right frequencies, and he's got a really great program in here. I'm using the John White Advanced Cancer Settings, which are the 2 frequencies that Rife used to get rid of all cancers. It calls them the BX and the BY types. It'd be best if I had the Fantron bulb, but I'm thinking, how much better is it? I mean, if I've been treating her for 8 million hours here, it should be no cancer by now, just from this, I would think. But maybe I need the advanced generator, maybe I need the advanced the Fantron bulb. But if anything, I'm going to get the Fantron bulb versus another generator. I got a generator that costs like $500, and I'm thinking, it's like, the thing is, they can't prove this technology works except by testimonies, because they do not have a microscope that could observe live cancer being destroyed. In other words, you got microscopes that are very expensive that you can watch bacteria being destroyed, or not, they're not that expensive. But if you're looking for a virus is so small, the cancer virus is so tiny, you need, they just came out recently in the last so many years. I mean, it's within the last 10 years, where they were able to see with an optical microscope that doesn't destroy all the tissue that's looking at, to see things going on live. So then now they can observe live. So, so you say, Spooky 2 had, a couple $100,000 laying around for this microscope. They can run tests, and they can hit it with the frequencies and see the stuff being destroyed. The government's never going to do that for us. We know that. But, so what they got to do is they got to go by, what did Rife do? And, I think, Rife's original frequencies are much better than what Philip Hoyland did, but Philip Hoyland's work still worked. It was the side bands that were actually doing the knocking out the cancer. But, they got the technology right, and, maybe I should not be using this plasma bulb, but then I'm thinking, I don't know, it should work. It should have effect, especially for the number of hours. And it's difficult to say if it is having an effect, or if it's just the nutrition, or the carbon C60, or the Live On Labs have an effect. I'd love to know that the technology works like magic, basically. But I don't know that right now. I honestly don't know that. So I like the plasma bulb better in a way, because it's encased in this plastic, but that plastic could be interfering slightly with but not a lot. But, the Fantron bulb actually is the neon gas, is the one that Rife used. He didn't use argon. And maybe that makes a difference. I don't know. There's other stuff out there that Ed Skilling had that can knock out cancer really fast. I mean, I don't know if you could use the photon genie or something like that. I don't know. This is why sometimes I just like the Parazapper, because if you're running positive offset, especially the better units with the Uzi 3 and the My 3 to have positive offset and pedestal offset, they never go to zero. Even if you got the wrong frequency, and you just say you have it set up where you're wearing this all day, you're wearing it 20 hours a day, that thing's going to have effect, even if you've got it all, even if you're not using the right frequency for whatever you're trying to address. Because by contact with the positive offset and the pedestal offset, especially the two of them, it's working like an electron donor to the body to help boost the immune system, besides working against all microbes, because the microbes are oppositely charged as the zapper is. The zapper is putting electrical charge at the microbes. It's shorting them out, basically. It's knocking down their electric power. You're running that thing all day. You can walk around with a zapper all day. You can't walk around with this machine. That's the thing. But if this machine could be dialed in where it works in, a couple hours, and the problem's solved, that'd be great. Or even if it works in 50 hours, fine by me. I mean, that's fine by me. You're going to get treated 50 hours, even 100 hours, and it's gone. That's fine. That'll work. To me, that works. But I'm not sure. But then again, it might be working. It might be working. I really am so, I wish I knew. I mean, I know the frequency's coming out of here correctly. But I wish I knew how much effect it was having on cancer. This has got me. I'm not 100% sure. You know. So sometimes I like, I don't like just technology. I mean, it's like, it'd be wonderful. I knew it worked, and well, I like the Parazapper a lot because I know that thing works. I know that thing always works. See, if you got the wrong frequency for whatever, say she has got some kind of weird cancer that this thing is not the right frequency for. Well, maybe this isn't doing anything. I don't know. I wish I knew. And I just remembered I can't do a biofeedback on her because you got to actually wear this thing on your finger for your pulse when you're doing that. And how do you do that with her? I can't do that. I don't even know where the hell that thing. Oh, I think I know where it is. I think I got the little clip you plug in. It's the pulse and blah blah blah. I'm not even sure how well that is going to tell you what's going on. But I might get the Fantron bulb and probably a spare generator one of these days. But I like to do a little more research because, I mean, this thing should have, if she has cancer, for the number of hours she's been treated, there should be no cancer on her at all. None, really, because this is actually running the exact right frequency. I don't know, and she's been, I mean, sometimes her head's close to it, sometimes it's not, but different parts of her body are always close to this thing. But I'm always doing this because, you're getting treated. Right now, I'm thinking you don't have as much cancer in you as you had before. Whether it's from the spooky or it's from the herbs or it's probably all of them. And the vitamins, Live On Labs, vitamin C, the carbon C60, you likely don't have anywhere near as much cancer. And I'm actually thinking this is probably going to do far more than good because the cancer tumor is on her tongue. But then, we see it on her tongue. For all I know, there could be little things going on all over her body where the cancer was, and then this thing is the only thing that's going to reach it, besides maybe some of the herbal support to boost her immune system. Carbon C60 and it'll Live On Labs vitamin C. So, I don't know. This is why, where I screwed up? I should have never stopped the carbon C60 around June 1st, 2019. That's been keeping her going this whole time. As a matter of fact, I remember in 2019, I started doing a little less of it. I wasn't quite doing it every day, or was maybe do it once a day. But in 2018, I was giving it to her like twice a day religiously. And I remember her fur came back pretty good. But then when I added the colostrum in sometime, I guess it was, sometime in May, late May of 2019, she was doing great. So like June 7th, I was like, what do I need to be doing this carbon C60 for? Maybe she just needed the colostrum. June 17th, she's perfect. All her fur was perfect. She was happy. Like all this was all white down here. She was all fluffy. She didn't have any brown around there. Happy. She's looking pretty good now, actually, to tell you the truth. I still got a hand feeder though. And I'm thinking, hey, she's like the perfect. There's absolutely nothing wrong with her. June 17th. And she was fine all June. And July, I could tell. But then the carbon C60 only stays in the body for about 30 days. I'm thinking, well, stop the carbon C60 about June 1st. So July, it's out of the body. August 3rd, this is red on this side. And then it's sided. And I'm thinking, what'd she do? And then she's not eating. I'm thinking she's fussy. She started not eating. Like some week later or so. And then I was like, what the hell's going on here? I was trying to get her to eat. She was eating like a little bit. She would eat the gravy. She was always kind of like that. But it was gotten way worse. So she's always had this tumor on her tongue before, but it was being controlled by the carbon C60. And as a matter of fact, that one Sunday, after I got her diagnosed on Thursday afternoon, August 15, 2019, she had advanced cancer. That next morning, I ran out and got the CBD oil, extra strength. And then that Saturday, 2 days later, I realized, hey, wait a minute. I started putting two and two together with the carbon C60. So I start rubbing that on her lips. Well, Sunday night, she finally got her to drink a slew of water. And, well, you know what? That next week, A week later, from the advanced cancer diagnosis, it took me 4 hours to get a half a can of cat food down her throat. I was always trying to get microscopic bits of stuff down her throat with a syringe and everything. Hardly anything. Now at least I can get a full can down her, and I'm talking scraping the plate and everything, and in about 25 minutes. You know, I think I get most of it down the first 15 minutes or even first 12 minutes. Then the remaining bits takes me longer because she's just she's not as hungry. And, you know. Anyway, it's a long enough video, but I want to document this because this is important stuff. You know, if this works on her, this works on people, this works on your doggies, it works on your kitties, it works on your horse, it works on, well, your family members and everything else. Basically, all cancers are pretty much the same deal. They got different names for them because, you know, one might be a mixture of cancer and normal cells, so it's not malignant, or it may be confined to one area, so they got another name, or it's cancer in your, whatever, this organ or that organ, so they use the Latin term for that organ or this organ. But basically, all cancer cells are pretty much the same deal. And that's not really rocket science to say that. It's just that you got a lot of different fancy names for, like, the concentration of cancer, how concentrated it is in an area, how it's spreading, where it is, and they got all these fancy labels. But basically, the cancer cells are pretty much all the same. For people, kitty cats, doggies, horses, whatever, you know, whatever else you got out there. So, and oh yeah, she's getting a Laetrile. I don't have the actual Laetrile apricot seeds yet, but I have the ground up. What do you call it? Lentils, green sprouting seeds, which are a good source of Laetrile too. That gives her kitty food all the time. As a matter of fact, I'm taking that all the time. I put it in a sprinkler. So, actually, you're not as dingy as you were. You know, who the hell knows, man? You seem to be, you'd be a white little fluffy cat with some black spotches and patches, and you got black on the back of your hind legs. You got a black hat. You got a black nose. You got a black tail, right? And you're white. You're Tiffany. I was going to call you Audrey one time too, because you mind you, Audrey Hepburn from what was that? Breakfast at Tiffany's. That's you, huh? You know, Audrey was a she was a Holocaust survivor. You believe that, Audrey Hepburn? You look her up on Wikipedia. She's thin like that because of what happened to her during the time in World War II with the Nazis and stuff. That's, you know, has a lot to do with her being thin. I think she got a, I don't know if I'm exactly correct saying that exactly correct, but I think she got an eating disorder from that. You're kind of skinny too, but you could be an Audrey. You'll be like a Holocaust survivor if you freaking ever make it through this thing. I'm going to make sure you get treated real good, though. You're going to make it. You're going to make it. You're going to make it. We get you fed right now, boo-boo. We give you what I'm doing now, too, is even between feeding, so I'm giving her this and CBD oil to wash out her mouth. She loves it. She wags her tail and stuff. Yum, 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 yum. And I'm figuring that's alkalizing healing water. So, you're going to do good, baby. Yum, yum. Well, I just want to add one little video clip to this again. I just had her outside. I was outside. I put all the bead balancer, the balancing beads and all 4 tires on my Chevy. And so I decided, you know, before I go to the gym, I'm going to take her outside for at least 15, 20 minutes in that little pen. And, you know, it's getting dark out earlier. She climbed right the hell over a 6-foot fence, no problem. Boom! Before I knew it. And I'm thinking, and then she just went on the other side about 15 feet. It's on my property too, you know. And she was just laying in the dirt going, brr, brr, brr. So I put some diatomaceous earth on her and I brought her inside. But she is a hell of a lot more peppy. There's no doubt about that. Man, you are definitely a lot more peppy. If her tongue was to the condition where she was eating on her own, I wouldn't even know there was anything wrong with her. You know that? She's got energy. And maybe there is no cancer left on the tongue. By the way, I'm getting a Fantron bulb for the spooky here. This argon bulb might not be the right damn thing to be using for this. This is, you know, they kind of mentioned that. The thing that Rife uses was the Fantron, I don't know, what is it, helium filled or whatever the hell it is. It's a different kind of gas. It's not argon. And well, anyway, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how effective this is or what. It should have actually been more effective than I thought. But then again, I might, you know, I got the original Central unit, Spooky Central, and it's the same thing that they got now. But they've been telling people get the Fantron bulb for certain things, and this plasma is better for like overall conditions and stuff. So, you know, it might just be taking the cancer and stunning it, or not killing it as fast, or what. Maybe, I don't know what it's doing. Maybe it's doing nothing. I don't know. I don't think it's not doing anything. But I think, tell you the truth, right now the main thing that's healing her up is the Live On Labs vitamin C, the carbon C60, probably the Willard water too, because I've been spraying it inside of her mouth, letting it run out, clean out everything in there, the CBD oil, the hemp oil. I think the nourishment and the cancer support stuff and the Laetrile, I think that's actually doing more than this spooky thing by far. But I'm not really using the exact right equipment. I don't want to get the Fantron bulb because I figured I don't want to spend the money on it, but you know, it's probably going to take a month to get her anyway. By the time she might be 100% healed, but I want to make sure I actually have another bulb on hand, because if this breaks, something happens with this one, I got an extra one, or maybe this will be my extra one. I'll use the other one. But you are drooling nothing. I don't see any drooling coming out of there. I just sprayed water in her mouth, so that's one thing, but there's no drooling. That's just sprayed some water in her mouth on the side. If there's drooling, well, let's see, there's drooling, but it's a hell of a lot less than it was. She's definitely improving. She had the energy to freaking just fly right the hell over that fence like that. I was like, holy shit. Girl, you're not going outside yet, roaming around, man. You're still sick. I want to bring her outside and watch her, but, you know, she's got diatomaceous earth on her, see, right there. So, I brushed it off, but when I put it on her, I brushed it off with the brush. So, didn't get any near her face or nothing, so she didn't breathe it. Damn, girl. I think you are getting better pretty quick. I just wish her tongue was good enough where you can eat on your own. But her energy levels and her mood is 1,000 times better.